the eagle, who was afraid of the storm. High on the cliffs of Stonewing Ridge, where the wind never stopped whispering, there lived a young eagle named Kale. He had golden brown feathers, sharp eyes, and wings built for the sky. Every eagle before him had flown through storms without flinching. It was said that a true eagle didn't hide from a storm. It rose to meet it. But Kale was different. Ever since he was a hatchling, the sound of thunder made his small body shake. He remembered the night a storm tore through the ridge, snapping branches, flooding nests, and stealing his older brother from the sky forever. Kyle had watched from beneath his mother's wing as lightning split the dark, and something in him closed that night, like a door that never opened again. From then on, whenever gray
clouds gathered on the horizon, Kale did what no eagle was supposed to do. He hid, while the other eagles spread their wings and dove into the coming wind, screaming with joy as the storm lifted them higher. Kale tucked himself into the deepest crevice of the mountain, eyes shut, heart pounding, waiting for it to pass. Years went by like this. Kale grew strong, his wingspan wide, his talons sharp, but only on clear days. The moment the sky darkened, he became small again. The other eagles began to talk. "He flies beautifully," they'd say, "but only when it's safe. What good is an eagle who can't face the sky?" Every word landed like a stone in his chest. Kyle told himself it didn't matter, that he could live his whole life avoiding storms, staying low, staying safe. But deep down, in the quiet hours before dawn, he knew the truth. He wasn't just afraid of storms. He was afraid of what one had already taken from him. And every time he hid, he wasn't protecting himself. He was letting that old fear win, again and again. One autumn evening, the sky turned the color of a bruise. Wind picked up, sharp and cold, carrying the smell of rain. A storm was coming, a big one. Kale turned toward his crevice, ready to disappear into the rock like always. That's when he saw her. A small eaglet, barely old enough to test her wings, was stranded on an outer ledge, far from the nests, too weak to fly back against the gathering wind. Her mother was nowhere in sight, likely caught on the far side of the mountain when the storm rolled in early. The eaglet cried out, a thin, desperate sound, swallowed almost instantly by the wind. Kale's wings trembled. Every instinct screamed at him to hide, to let someone else handle it. But there was no one else close enough, no one else who could reach her in time. The first drops of rain began to fall. Kyle stood at the edge of his crevice, torn between two versions of himself, the eagle who hid and the eagle he was meant to be. Fear whispered, "Stay where it's safe." But louder than fear, for the first time in years, came something else. If not you, then who? With a cry that surprised even himself, Kale launched off the cliff and into the open sky, straight toward the storm. The wind hit him like a wall. Rain lashed against his feathers, and thunder cracked so close it rattled his bones. Every part of him wanted to turn back. "This is what took my brother," a voice inside him cried. "This will take me too." But he didn't turn back. He thought of the eaglet, alone and terrified, and pushed forward, wing beat by wing beat, fighting for every foot of sky. Lightning split the clouds above him. For a moment, Kyle was that small hatchling again, frozen beneath his mother's wing. And then something shifted. He realized the storm wasn't trying to destroy him. It simply was. Wild, powerful, indifferent. It didn't hate him. It didn't choose him. It was just wind and water and sky, doing what storms do. The only thing deciding what happened next was him. Kale tilted his wings, catching the wind instead of fighting it, using its force to climb higher rather than be thrown down. His heart still pounded, his feathers were soaked through. But for the first time, the fear didn't control his wings. It rode alongside him, and he flew anyway. He reached the ledge just as another gust threatened to sweep the eaglet off the rock. Diving low, he caught her beneath his wing, shielding her small body from the rain, and turned back toward the nests. The flight home was the hardest of his life. Every muscle screamed. The wind fought him at every turn, but he no longer flew like something hiding. He flew like something becoming. When Cole landed at last, delivering the trembling eaglet safely into her mother's wings, the storm was still raging behind him, but something inside him had gone still and quiet. He looked back at the sky he had just conquered, not because it stopped being frightening, but because he finally understood something the other eagles had always known. Courage was never the absence of fear. It was flying anyway. The storm eventually passed, as storms always do. The sky cleared, revealing a sunset so bright it seemed to set the clouds on fire. Cale stood at the edge of the cliff, feathers damp, wings aching, and for the first time in his life, he didn't feel small. He felt free. The other eagles never spoke of him the same way again. Not because he had become fearless, he hadn't, but because he had shown them something rarer than fearlessness. He had shown them what it looked like to grow. And so it's said, on Stonewing Ridge, that eagles don't become who they are by avoiding the storm. They become who they are the moment they choose to fly into it anyway. Because the sky doesn't ask if you're ready, it only asks if you'll rise. If this story touched your heart, inspired you, or gave you the strength to keep moving forward, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel. Every week, I bring you meaningful stories filled with hope, courage, resilience, and life lessons to help you stay motivated through every challenge. Thank you for watching, and remember, no matter how difficult today may seem, your story isn't over yet. See you in the next inspiring journey.